Hey everybody, it's God's side or the other side. Yeah, doesn't matter if you're Diddy or wherever you think you are. That's Bryson Gray, ladies and gentlemen. Very promising young Christian rapper. Believe me, he's really Christian. He's really all into Christian, conservative. I think he's gonna push himself off to the side where not too many things are good enough for him as far as being conservative enough. But you know, what are we gonna do? Hey, out there! Hello to each and every one of you. We are the Amazing Grace Sports Network. And if you are there, we are here. It's time to snap, crackle, and pop. Let's go. I am Clay Morris. There's Kevin Christen back there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On another rainy Saturday morning here.
Yeah, well, I can't. I brought the sunshine.
Only 1 week. Yeah.
What do you want from me? We are on. We're on here via WEZE Radio, Restream, YouTube, X, and you can call into the show. Remember, the number is 844-249-5247, 844-249-5247. And you can also message us through Restream and through YouTube and through probably everything else. Probably just comment, like, and leave a message. We don't care how you do it. Tell us how bad we are, how old we are, how young we are, how we're trying to mix rap and whatever you want to say about the program and the situation. You can do so. And thank you very much for that. Now, let's move on to prayer. And we are using, I brought it today, Tony Evans, Prayers for Victory. Why is that backwards? Can we mirror this? I want the impossible. I want everything. There we go. There we go.
Anything else you need, just feel free to holler.
Thank you, bro. I mean, you know what? It's nice being the old guy because they just think you're crotchety. Okay? they just go, they just sigh. Prayers for victory in spiritual warfare. Let's get to it. We are in chapter 4, the authority of Christ. And today we are strapping on the belt of truth using the authority of Christ. Heavenly Father, creator of the universe, I praise you for giving all authority to Jesus Christ. As a member of Christ's church, his body, we represent the fullness of him who fills all and is all. As a member of Christ's church, I have complete and total access to Jesus Christ's authority over all. Nothing can stand in my or your way when we seek Jesus Christ and his power through faith and humility. In my submission to Jesus, I acquire and you acquire the keys to bind the gates of hell from advancing into our minds, our relationships, and into our future, and in all aspects of our lives. Neither our emotions or thoughts dictate the truth. The truth is, all things have been put in subjugation to Jesus, and as I am and you are aligned under him, his authority in us, in our trials and tribulations, we are instructed to call on his name, the name of Jesus, in prayer. And Father, I thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. You know, I kind of lost my way somewhere in that prayer, but I tried to pull it together.
Thank you, Clay. Well done.
Well, I try my best here. Now, today in history, April 26th. Today in history. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. You're not, but on April 26th, 1901, Jimmy Collins, he left the Boston Beaneaters of the National League, and he went over to the American League, the newly formed American League, and begins to manage his first game for the Boston Americans. And, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there you go. There's Jimmy Collins. And eventually, the Boston Americans become the Boston Red Sox. Who knew? The legend begins right there.
Who knew?
Who knew? From the Boston Bean Eaters. I mean, that's a step up. All right. What else we got here? I think you got Today in History number 2.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yes.
The second one? All right. This is a rarity. I never get to do this.
This is
All
why
right.
we're getting you in
I
this.
don't usually talk for the first 15 minutes of the show, but it's all right. On April the 26th, in the year 1964, just a couple of years ago, the Boston Celtics won their 6th NBA championship and their 5th consecutively by defeating was then the San Francisco Warriors 4-1.
4-1. Had Wilt Chamberlain on that team, the San Francisco Warriors.
Is there a question in there, or is that just a statement?
We're just making a statement.
Just out there, all right.
We're just making.
All right.
We have so much to go through today.
Of course, the Celtics would go on to win after that. Well, Clay?
Another one.
And another one after that.
And another one after that. Won 8 in a row.
12 more.
Unbelievable.
Hopefully 13 more.
The best franchise in the history of the world of sports is right there, the Boston Celtics. On April 26, 2018, Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield was taken with the first pick of the NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns. And of course, Cleveland screwed that up. Now Mayfield is with the Buccaneers and doing well. And Cleveland is still being Cleveland. And we use that because we're segueing into the NFL.
Let me just say, hold on, one thing. I mean, I've criticized Baker Mayfield plenty of times. I personally think Baker Mayfield has got a lot of heat when I don't think he's deserved it. I actually think that Baker Mayfield has proven himself to be a pretty solid quarterback.
Pretty good quarterback.
I mean, he was the one that was drafted by the Browns, as you mentioned, then brought the Browns 2 years later to the playoffs.
Relevance.
And at times it looked like, wow, Cleveland, this is it. Like they're
about to get there.
And then it just fell off the wagon per se. But
he got hurt.
He got hurt, and then they got rid of him.
Right.
Went to Carolina and to be a backup essentially. It was actually him and Sam Darnold in the quarterback room for the Carolina Panthers a couple of years ago, and then found himself again with Tampa Bay. So I think, was he worthy of getting drafted number 1 overall? Maybe not. Go back and look at that draft pick. But, I think a lot of people criticize Baker Mayfield a little bit too much. And I actually think he's a solid quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. And
look at the Browns now.
Yeah. Deshaun. Well, they shoved him out the door for Deshaun Watson. So we'll just let that go. Okay. Let's just get to this. Speaking of the NFL draft, the Patriots got their offensive lineman of the desires with the first-round draft pick of 6'6", 325-pound Will Campbell. Then they drafted running back Trevion Henderson in the second round and wide receiver Carl Williams and Jarrett Wilson in the third round. But the biggest news of all, but you know what? I'm not even going to bypass that. Let's get right into this video clip we have of Mr. Campbell there. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
Will, you are Mr. Louisiana, but you just got a love letter from the New England Patriots. You haven't stopped smiling since you heard your name. What's behind that smile?
Man, just all the hard work. I've worked my entire life to be up here. To be able to get my name called by a franchise like New England, it means everything to me.
You are brought to New England to protect Drake May. What kind of tone are you going to set on this offensive line?
I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
Well, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what would.
He's got me ready to run through the wall. I mean, to be on the line with him,
right.
All 190 pounds of me.
Right. Well, we'll talk about that, but we do have our friend Wayne on the line who wants to check in with us this morning. Wayne, go ahead in. Welcome on into the show.
Kevin, Clay, good morning.
Good morning.
Before you forward to football, I'd like to stay on basketball for just a moment more. I was watching the games, and how great would Paolo Banchero look in a Boston Celtic uniform?
Wow. Well, Brad Stevens, the best player on that court last night and for the past 3 games has been Paolo Banchero. I don't know how you can work some magic here, but he would look great in the Boston Celtics uniform. I mean, the guy plays the right way, too.
For sure. I mean, he embodies the body of Len Bias, Reggie Lewis, fluidity, I don't know what we'll have to give up to get him. And also, I'd like to go back on something you said about the moving the city hall and putting up the new gardens over there. We already had the Bill Russell statue in front of City Hall, so we won't have to find a new home for him.
No,
and
we
Red
can keep the
Auerbach,
statue. We can keep the statue. And
Right-
just move the
right
new.
where, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And then Red Auerbach is right there in Faneuil Hall on that bench, so we have it bookend, front and back.
Front and back. Why not? Why not? Get rid of City Hall. I mean, really, I mean, we're not going to get into the efficiency of what's going on in there now. But what we're trying to say is that we need a new venue for the basketball team. Put the basketball team, the new arena, so that they don't have to play in the Garden. And now the Boston Bruins would actually have to, do some work in there to keep the TD Bank North without the Celtics paying rent to them for half the year. So yeah, put it there, and let's get Paulo Banchero in a green uniform, a green and white uniform. Let's get him in a Celtics uniform, please, so we don't have to face him anymore.
I don't know if you saw the Bruins press conference the other day, but it looked like business as usual.
It is.
Jacobs got up there, said nothing. We're disappointed with the season, but you're raising the ticket prices and you're not giving the fans championships. So let's get the policy be to move City Hall, put up a new gardens, and let's get this thing started the right way.
Kevin, how you feel about that?
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Wayne. We're continuing to see sort of the status quo and business as usual with the Boston Bruins, and any other franchise. The way the Bruins played all year would certainly have made a move, whether it was a change in GM, president, whatever title they want to give and throw out. In this case, they should do it. And for whatever reason, the Bruins have been reluctant to move on from Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, for that matter, too. But they have no problem getting rid of coaches. And we've seen that with Claude Julien, which I actually do believe was justified, but I don't think the other two were justified, though, with Cassidy and with Jim Montgomery.
You mean the guy who's with the St. Louis Blues in the playoffs right now?
Well, both. Bruce Cassidy, who the year after he was fired with the Bruins, brought the Vegas Golden Knights to a Stanley Cup. And
bingo.
So, so whoever the next coach of the Bruins is, I don't think it's going to be Joe Sacco, but whoever they bring in as the next head coach,
it's business
just
as
be
usual.
prepared to be fired within the next 3 to 4 years that they're here. Maybe shorter. In Montgomery's case, it was shorter, but it's just amazing to me. But I don't really have much else to say, Wayne, because I'm not surprised by it.
I do. This is what I have to say about the Bruins.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
There we go. That's for the playoffs. Playoffs?
They don't have the talent on the roster right now assembled to be a playoff team, good coach or not. And until the front office recognizes, again, what avenue the Bruins want to go down, is it a full rebuild? Is it half a rebuild? Is it a full all-in? Let's go. Let's compete in an increasingly difficult Atlantic Division and Eastern Conference, mind you, with the way Ottawa is playing, with the way Montreal is playing. It's no longer just the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, and the Panthers and the Lightning. That's really been the four teams for the past couple of years that have done anything in the Atlantic Division. Now you've got Ottawa, who's up there. Now Montreal has had a better year. Who knows? You count Buffalo hasn't made the playoffs in a number of years, but you can't count out them at times with their young talent. So
things are bad.
Until the Bruins get serious, I'm going to continue to criticize and boycott and do whatever I can. But
playoffs?
Yeah.
Well, let's get that new garden started, guys.
Yeah, let's get Paulo Banchero into a green uniform. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks,
bye,
Wayne.
Guys.
All the best.
No, bye.
Well, I didn't think we were to talk about the Bruins today, but
well, they slipped in there somehow.
It was an unfortunate press conference by ownership, and
I'm sorry about that. Just click that out. They don't care. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, we it's like being in a relationship. You want the other party to care as much as you do, but obviously they don't. It's just business as usual. I'm not going to change a thing.
Right.
If you don't like it, well, just too darn bad. Okay.
So back to the draft. We heard obviously that video clip from Will Campbell, the newest draft pick for the Patriots, number 4 overall. I think Clay said here on the show last week, I said I don't think the Patriots should trade the pick, nor did I expect them to trade the pick. And, well, we were correct in that assumption. And there were several, I think, players the Patriots could have gone. But I think out of anybody, Clay, I think he was the one, the consensus. You look at all the mock drafts the past couple of months here, and you look at all the analysis, you'll really take a look at the Patriots depth chart. Where was the glaring need? And I think it was on the offensive line. And,
Totally.
And Will Campbell certainly fits that. And Mike Vrabel said, we're going to draft the best player available, and certainly a player that fits the Patriots' needs. Will Campbell certainly was that player.
Now, well, I watched it, and I think, Will, you better get ready and get in shape. At 320-something odd pounds, you're not that big for an offensive lineman who is 6'6". You're a very tall guy, and you need to put on at least 20 more pounds because they have some real monsters on the defensive end. They want to go through you. You look a little slow. You look a little out of shape. I mean, for the NFL, you're going to need to put on muscle and weight. You might be the best player available, but we're talking about the NFL right now, and you're stepping up a whole nother level, if not 2 or 3 levels. So start packing it on, buddy, and start heading to that gym.
Right. Well, I mean, he's going to stabilize the left side of the Patriots offensive line and sort of a mainstay with the LSU on the offensive line. He, from day one, starting all 38 games in his college career, all SEC recognition. He was consensus All-American, won the Jacobs Blocking Trophy as the SEC's best lineman. So great accolades in college, and let's hope that he'll continue to do that with the Patriots.
Yes.
But why don't we go back to the phones, and this is always an entertaining conversation. Our friend John's on the line. John, good morning.
John,
Welcome on in.
John, what you got?
Hey, Kevin, I don't know much about this Patriots GM everyone's talking about, but I guess you're going to congratulate him after last night's draft.
You like the picks?
You like Elliott Wolf. Elliott Wolf is the Patriots GM.
I don't know much about him, Clay. Where is he from? Is he like an old AFC guy or something, or is he just one of those numbers crunchers?
He's a number cruncher. He's very young. He is Ron Wolf's son, who was the general manager of the Packers, Green Bay Packers, back in the 90s and early 2000s. I think he's improving. We'll see what happens.
Right, but now I saw the second guy the pick was the guy from the back from Ohio State.
Yes.
Who was the third pick?
Was the wide receiver.
Yeah, they got a wide receiver.
Right now,
Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams. He's a pretty fast guy. This is a real fast guy. Nice size. They're not pulling any punches. They're going for the best player available.
Where's he from?
Gosh.
Where's Williams from? Do you know?
No, I don't know. Do you know, Kevin?
Washington State.
Washington State.
That's good football out there. How about me with my pick? Shedeur Sanders, third.
Oh God!
So what do you? We were just starting to talk about this. So why don't we start off with you? What in your mind is going on with Shedeur Sanders?
I don't. You know what I think it is? I think it might be a father thing where a lot of people
really.
You think so,
yes,
John?
Yes,
you think so?
I think. You know what? I am not sold on these Mel Kiper guys. Maybe I'll listen to some scouts, but I think it's out there that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because Deion Sanders was not the most liked athlete when he played.
He's a pain in the butt.
With Carlton Fisk and Tim McCarver. Do you guys remember the Tim McCarver incident?
Yep.
Yes.
Right in the locker room.
Right in the locker room. Yeah, terrible display of behavior.
If us three did that, would be in jail.
Yeah.
It's an assaulted battery.
Right.
But I don't think McCarver wanted to, press charges or anything. But I just think it's an apple doesn't fall far from the tree because look at what that kid did in college.
Well,
why wouldn't the Patriots just take a shot with them on a 6th round pick?
I'll tell you why. Because Deion comes with him. All right, Deion comes with them. Right. I mean, and Deion's going to undermine the coach. He's going to second guess the coach, and he's going to second guess the position coaches. He's going to talk on this platform if he doesn't think Shedeur Sanders is being used well. And it's not just the Patriots; it's the other 31 teams. Deion Sanders burned every bridge he ever had in NFL. Okay, and
I agree with you.
He doesn't know how this. The worst thing is it's not the kid's fault. It's Deion's fault. I feel sorry for the kid. The poor kid has no idea
Yeah.
that he's just
Yeah,
pushing
live with
himself
that
way out in
name.
left field. It doesn't have a chance if he doesn't cut connections with his father.
Well, to be honest as well, a lot of teams didn't need quarterback help
Right.
in the draft.
That's
A
true.
lot of, and by the way, too, this draft class was a very weak quarterback draft class, by the way. I'm not sold on Cam Ward either. I don't think Cam Ward is going to be the next great thing for the Tennessee Titans. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll come back on here and say it's so.
Build, but hey, he's got a great build. He is as skinny as a string bean. It looks like if he gets into the open field, look out, Kevin. Look out.
Well, Tennessee needs that. I mean, the Titans, they thought they had it in, what's his name, Will Levis, and that certainly didn't work out.
That turned out bad.
But, you know,
I just don't understand why Jacksonville doesn't say, hey, let's throw away a pick fifth round and take Sanders. Now he's reunited with Hunter.
Because listen, it comes with Dion. I mean, the kid is not that good. Okay, listen, if he was that good, okay, they would be knocking down the doors to get him, even with Dion. So he's kind of like in the middle, kind of a quarterback. He's not big. He's not strong. He's not overly fast. So what do you got there? And then you got the baggage that is going to come with him. And that is not appealing. You need less distractions on a football team, not more.
Well, last year he had a 74% passing rate, threw for over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4 rushing touchdowns. So I think there is a glimpse of talent there. There's no doubt about it that Shedeur Sanders is a talented quarterback. And what boggles my mind too is some of these mock drafts. At the beginning of this process, this draft process, you mentioned Mel Kiper, John, who by the way said he was at the end of last night. If you watch the draft, I'm disgusted with the way this has gone about Sanders and blah blah blah. He was projected at times I saw to go number one, but at most number 2, either to Cleveland, who ended up, of course, trading the pick, or to the New York Giants.
Well, how much have they paid these guys? They pay Mel Kiper. I mean, somebody in the outside is paying a lot of these so-called NFL experts, to say these things. Right. I mean, you can't be serious that you don't know why NFL teams do not want to be bothered with Shedeur Sanders.
Right. Go ahead, John. We'll give you the final word, then we got to move.
Okay, I think there's only one team perfect for Sanders, and that's the Raiders. I think he could fit in with those misfits out there. And you never know, John Gruden. I mean, where was Gruden now, anyways?
He's with Barstool Sports. He doesn't coach at this moment.
Oh, so he's just rip roaring, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they brought in as you know, John. They've got Tom Brady out there as a minority owner, and they've got Pete Carroll as the head coach, and they've got Geno Smith as their quarterback. But I think if anything, who I believe Sanders will be drafted to is a team that still needs a quarterback, and that, of course, is Clay's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who right now at this point need a quarterback, and he's been linked to Mike Tomlin. I was surprised last night in the third round when the Steelers were up. They did not pick a quarterback. And
pick him.
I know they've been flirting around with Aaron Rodgers. That still hasn't been finalized. But Aaron Rodgers, at his stay in his career, they're going to have to need somebody on the up and up. So,
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Shedeur Sanders, are we serious?
Well, good luck to Mike Tomlin.
Good luck to you. I mean, gosh. We're talking about a divided, fractured team. Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine having Aaron Rodgers and then they have Sanders as backup? That looks like a 2-win team on paper.
Good luck. Hey, John, thanks so much as always.
Okay, guys, you guys are the best.
Take care. We'll talk to you, John.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it is the great storyline going into round 4 today of the NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders still yet to be picked by an NFL team. Will he be picked? Will it be the 4th round, the 5th round, the 6th round, the 7th round, or will he go undrafted and sign on with the team? And what more, Clay, do you think there could be? Do you think it's just Dion, or do you think there's something else? We've heard reports that, I remember I sent this to you during the week. A lot of teams weren't impressed with the interview process with him. They thought he was sort of, they thought he was the next great thing and a little arrogant and certainly wasn't going to play well in the locker room. So is it more than just the father in your mind?
No, it's more Dion than anything else. I mean, if he was a kid, okay, they took his teammate, Travis Hunter. And Travis is a good kid, but he's not coming with the baggage that Shedeur is. If Shedeur comes in and and anything does not go right, okay, Dion has these platforms. He'll have Mel Kiper, as he already has him in his pocket, saying that, oh, if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for that, da 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 da, and it's going to shoot down the coach and the team. And the last thing you need on the team is distractions. You don't need any rumblings in the back. You have to lead and go from the front. So I think it's going to be hard for a team to take on Shedeur Sanders, and it's already proven such, because it comes with Dion lurking in the background, waiting to live through his son's heroics.
Right. Well, the callers are very active this morning. Our good friend Kelly's on the line. Kelly from Lynn weighing in here this morning. Good morning, Kelly.
What we got, Kelly?
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Hey,
guys.
What's going on? Yeah, this is crazy. The Shedeur Sanders thing is nuts. But before that, let me say, Patriots not mad at their draft. How can you be mad at what they're doing?
Right.
Drafting for need. I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to go out with the lineman. There's a lot of talks about it, but it's a good pick. The kid interviewed well with Vrabel, and it was like love at first sight. So
There you go. That does it. When the heart starts pumping, you're going to make that.
Were you
pick.
expecting them to draft someone else, Kelly?
A part of me. I just wasn't 100% because I'm just listening to everything that was going on. But then, you draft for the need.
Right.
You draft for the need.
You certainly do. And you look at other players, like I know Abdul Carter. I think the Giants made a good move in going defensive as opposed to on the offensive side of the ball by drafting him. And he's going to be a great defensive addition for them. And I think the other guy the Patriots were linked to was, and then we mentioned Ashton Gente, the great running back from Boise State, who went going to the Raiders.
I was
number one pick.
When the Patriots dropped the Andrews, I was a bit concerned of the space of the offensive line. When you let your center go, he's like the anchor. He calls up the other linemen.
And they drafted another center last night.
Yeah, from Georgia, Jared Wilson. Yep.
So we're gonna need some patience. That line developing.
No, full steam ahead.
Can I just say, in no disrespect to any D3 athlete, because I went to a small school up in New Hampshire, but the draft strategy, I think, with Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick is a whole heck of a lot different.
Right.
I bet there aren't a lot of long snappers from Holy Cross that are on the board as would be for Belichick with Vrabel. So, and again, no disrespect to any of those great players, but it's just two different strategy. And I think, Vrabel certainly is drafting for talent and drafting for immediate need rather than what Belichick drafted for. In his mind was talent and certainly a different type of need, I guess, for the Patriots. But
sometimes we had no idea. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But what else do you think about the draft? Anything else?
Yeah, you have to trust the process.
Shedeur thing. What about the Shedeur thing?
Oh my gosh! I mean, it must be a thing with these parents.
Yes,
stepping in.
Yes,
it's going back. LeVar Ball. I mean, and I don't see anything more than what LeVar Balls do with Dion. I thought when his kids were going in teams past, because you thought this guy was going to be heavily involved, and I really didn't expect. I really didn't pay attention what kind of person Shedeur Sanders was. I thought this was a humble kid.
So the reports. I mean, Adam Schefter has reported that some teams preferred other quarterbacks this year, and the interview process did not go well with some of their teams. But
he's not humble.
That being said, a lot of these guys are shocked that he has not been picked in the first three rounds.
Wait a minute. He has a house already. And in this house, he has embroidered or engraved the word legendary everywhere. I mean, he ended this interview the other day when he was not picked in the first round by saying legendary. I'm going to be okay. I'll be okay tomorrow. And then legendary. And then walks off. This kid
seems very humble.
Yeah. He's a legend in his own mind.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I mean, I think he needs to be taught a lesson that like this is how it's going to be. I think this works for his psyche if he's tagged with the Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly right.
Or worse.
I'm just going to be curious. Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
It's going to work best for him, because then he can go into the league under that umbrella and then perform. Then think he's got to prove himself more rather than like go out there with his chest out.
But again,
Look at me.
there are a lot of teams that just don't need quarterback help right now. The Browns
That's
filled
true.
that. The Browns have obviously Deshaun Watson under contract. He's probably not going to play next year. They brought in Joe Flacco to compete for the job. They have Kenny Pickett. They also drafted a quarterback in Dylan Gabriel from Oregon, who Dylan came out last night and said he's ready to compete for the #1 job. So I don't think there's any room anymore in Cleveland. The Giants had their own issues with Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, and then they drafted Jackson Dart. They traded to get another first-round pick, and they drafted him from Ole Miss, the second quarterback to go in the draft. So for me, there are two teams that need – well, and actually the New Orleans Saints, we don't know what's going to happen with Derek Carr. They drafted the kid from Louisville. Again, not Sanders. So the one team, in my mind, that really does need a quarterback, again, I just said it with our previous caller, John, and who I predict will end up going there is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's who I believe. They've been linked to Shedeur Sanders. You know, I believe Mike Tomlin will end up pulling the trigger and drafting Sanders. And if they do sign Aaron Rodgers and you have Aaron Rodgers for 1 to 2 years, Shedeur Sanders waiting in the wings along with his father, good luck to Mike Tomlin.
Good luck, Mike. Good luck.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, I think it's, you know.
But I think this is similar to Bronny James would never have been drafted by anybody if LeBron didn't draft him himself.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys, are there looking at the other 30+ teams in the league and knowing their quarterback situations? Is there any other team in your mind that has room for Shedeur Sanders right now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not at the level that he's at. If he was a great quarterback, of course you make room, but no, he's not.
Jerry Jones came out and says that we evaluated him highly. We thought extremely well of him, but we obviously have Dak as the highest paid player in the league. So that crosses that out. You know, Sean Payton came out and said that, you know, we've known him for years, but obviously they have Bo Nix, and there's no way they're going to be drafting Shedeur Sanders. And Sean Payton saying teams should beware of not drafting Shedeur Sanders, as he believes that is going to fuel his fire going forward. But again, there are a lot of holes in some quarterback rooms, and Pittsburgh right now is the only glaring hole that I see.
They are saying all the right things, okay, but they don't mean them. Because they don't want to. They're saying all the right things. They're not trying to step on anybody's feathers here, because there's some very sensitive people out there.
I'm saying I do believe he is going to get drafted somewhere, but then again, man, who knows?
I don't think so. I don't think. I mean, we need to ask you a question on something. What about our Celtics? Because we're going to take one more question with you, and then we have to run. We haven't even filled any of our commercial obligations yet.
No, that's true.
What about the Celtics? What's going on?
The Celtics, when they win, they win, and when they lose, it always like you always see the concern, like when they lose. But it's weird. But I mean, the series don't surprise me much. I expected Orlando to come at them as they're coming at them.
Atlanta or Orlando?
Orlando.
Okay.
Bankel, solid player.
Solid player.
Like Wayne said, we'd love to see him.
Get him in the green. Get him in the green.
Could you imagine that? Yeah, his style of play is just incredible. It'd be nice to see.
So I didn't realize the Celtics had lost 5 games in a row in Orlando.
Yeah, having a hard time beating them.
They kind of got their number, and they always get the Celtics at the right time. Celtics always not at full strength when they're playing them. But I'm not. I was the only thing that game last night. It was typical. They had a good solid lead. You know, the bad shots. You live and die by the 3. But I'm not too worried. Again, you know, Drew Holiday didn't play. You know, it's just like missing pieces. They're just getting the Celtics at the right time in the series. But I'm not really concerned with them in this series. So they're going to pull through.
All right. Any you want to give a final word on your friend LeBron before we let you go?
Buddy,
Tough one last night.
Yeah, I know. It was good to see. But the past 3 weeks, he's been good. He's been quiet, but don't worry. You know,
it won't be long.
LeBron.
You think they'll beat Minnesota in that series, Kelly?
I think that's another good question, Kevin. I'm like, that's a tough one. You know, I think that Luka, they go back and forth with Luka. Who's leading this tour? Luka's leading the team.
Who's leading the team?
It's this series is all weighing on the mental approach of Minnesota. I mean, I think they know they can beat this team, but will they beat this team? You know.
Well, we'll find out.
That remains to be seen.
They're up 2-1, and
Yep.
you know, they're playing the fourth game, and we will see if they take a 3-1 lead.
And they're going to blow that game too. I have a feeling they're going to blow that game.
That'll be great. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing better than watching the Lakers go out in the first round. With that, we have to let you go. We got to take care of some things here. Thank you for calling.
Right.
And I don't think
Talk to
Shedeur is going to be drafted at all. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll soon find out.
we'll see.
Thanks, Kelly.
We'll see. All right.
Well, we'll certainly find out here as the Shedeur Sanders saga continues. And by the way, some other quarterbacks that were drafted before Shedeur, just to list here, we obviously know Cam Ward was drafted #1 overall by the Tennessee Titans. And the Giants traded back into round 1. They landed Jackson Dart from Ole Miss to pick him at number 25. The Saints used their second-round pick on Tyler Show. He's the quarterback from Louisville. The Seahawks took Jalen Milroe. Obviously, we know him from Alabama. And the Browns chose Dylan Gabriel from Oregon in the final pick, one of the final picks of the third round last night.
None of them had the last name Sanders.
None of them had the last name Sanders. And, well, we'll see. We'll see where it happens in the next 3 rounds here, 4 through 7. Will Shedeur Sanders be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Will he be? Well, I really can't think of any other team.
While you're waiting, okay, here's what you should do. Sign up for one of Karma's classes. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, how would you like to feel better, stand straighter, and enjoy daily activities without pain? Then look no further than Karma Don Yoga. As one of the more accomplished yoga instructors in the New England area, Karma embraces many different styles of yoga, including vinyasa, slow flow, yin, and restorative, in order to tap into your pranic energy and create a balanced mix of healing, stretch, and strength. Find her and her very affordable classes online at karmadonyoga.com. That's karma, like good karma, bad karma, dawn, like the morning dawn, yoga.com. Hey, are you feeling a little achy or sore from the cold weather? Then take a visit to Dylan's Russian Steam Bath. At Dylan's Dry Sauna or Wet Steam Room, you can de-escalate, de-stress, and detox your body and mind. A hot place of massage or a variety of oil massages are available. You will enjoy the relaxed atmosphere that features a nutritious snack bar, large screen television, and comfortable lounge chairs to cool off in during your visit. They have 2 convenient locations, one in Chelsea and the other in Quincy. Find them online at Dylan's Russian Steam Bath or call 617-549-3484 for more information. To enjoy your best health, visit Dylan's Russian Steam Bath, where heat, steam, and water have a therapeutic effect.
Well, I want to thank our great friends at Dillon's and Carmen, another great friend here of the show. We're just going to do all 3 sponsors here because we look at the clock. We're running low on time with some great phone calls here. But again, I want to say hello to our friends at Oyama Investments here, who keep us on the air each and every weekend right here. And if you're looking for a smart investment and searching for a place to call your home, well, welcome to Oyama Investments, where your dreams do find a foundation. And at Oyama Investments, they're more than just your real estate friend. They're your trusted partner in building a secure future. And whether it be investing in a property that'll grow with you or purchasing your dream home, they make the process easy, transparent, and rewarding. Oyama Investments specializes in finding properties that align perfectly with your goals, and imagine yourself owning a piece of the future, whether it be a luxury apartment, a commercial space, or a family home in the perfect neighborhood. And if you're new to the real estate investment world, well, don't worry. They are here at every step of the way, helping you make informed choices with confidence. Real estate prices rising. There has never been a better time to invest, and you're ready to see your dreams come to life. Visit www.oyamainvestments.com. Give them a call, 617-221-8881 today, where your vision becomes reality. That's our good friends at Oyama Investments.
Fantastic.
Nice little musical interlude there as well. You
do
produce
something.
that music?
I'm the
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Oh, good.
got it in
Very
there.
good. So anything else, Clay, left on the draft talk? We
Gosh,
talked about the Patriots picks and continuing our discussions now on the Shadur Sanders saga, not being drafted yet. And it's amazing to me, all these mock drafts. I want to go back to these mock drafts for a minute. That even looking and talking about it on the show last week, if we go back and look, I mean, people were content on him going to the Giants at number 3, or even the Browns at number 2 when they had the pick.
Well, we're talking about the Browns and the Giants, two dysfunctional franchises at this period of time anyway, but they were not dysfunctional enough to pick Shadur Sanders and have Deion come along with them. Good luck to the franchise that does. I'm not sure that, he already thinks he's legendary, so good luck with that, because the guy already thinks he's Deion, but he's not Deion. I mean, if he was, akin to Deion as far as talent goes, they'd be knocking down the door to get him no matter what. But he's Deion in Deion's name only, Sanders in Sanders' name only, but he's not Deion.
Right.
And somehow he's got that confused. And I don't think he's going to do well until he disconnects from his father in some manner, shape, or form. Becomes his own man.
By the way, speaking of Travis Hunter, who we believe was the best player, I think, in the draft in terms of skill. You like Jacksonville trading up for that pick to get him?
I thought it was crazy. I don't understand. The guy's going to be playing wide receiver. He's too small to play cornerback in the NFL. I mean, he's not big enough for the guys that he's going to have to tackle. All right, but okay. So you moved it to number 2 to get a wide receiver? Well, okay, good luck to you. We'll see what happens with that Jacksonville.
Generational talent, though. And if they can, I've always said this about Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence can remain healthy, I think Jacksonville can actually be a pretty good team. We've seen glimpses of that, too. I mean, he has brought the Jaguars to the playoffs once already. And they even advanced to the divisional round as well. So it all depends on Trevor Lawrence's health and his ability to play consistently. And you add a great weapon in Travis Hunter, and we'll see how Jacksonville does.
How that works out. We'll see how that works out.
And just one other thing, too, in the Patriots, Clay, I really like their pick in the second round for Henderson, the running back from Ohio State. Had a tremendous year last year. Really put on a show with Ohio State. 22 years old. Had 4 seasons at Ohio State. 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns last year, averaging, which was the biggest in the Big Ten, for 7.1 yards per carry. I think he'll fit in nicely with Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield there, and
could be in trouble.
Another great offensive addition, I think, and in a solid draft for Mike Vrabel. And by the way, the 4 picks for the Patriots, all 4 offensive positions.
Wow.
2 on the offensive line, and then 2 obviously, 1 wide receiver and 1 running back.
I predict. Okay, but then again, I'm the guy who predicted that the Red Sox would run away with the East and would be 10 games in front of everyone.
Well, it's early. Early days yet.
I predict that the Patriots are going to take the East.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Over Buffalo.
Over Buffalo. Buffalo's ripe. They're ripe for the fall.
Wow. Well, obviously we know your thoughts on Tua, so you don't think Miami has much of a shot.
And the Jets, give me a
break. The Jets with Justin Fields, I don't, and in the new look regime there. So that's a bold prediction. I'm not prepared to make that prediction yet. I still think Buffalo has a pretty strong grasp over the AFC East.
You like Josh Allen.
I do like Josh Allen, and I can't see any reason why Buffalo wouldn't.
We'll see.
Wouldn't take the AFC East, but hey, we have a long way to go until we get to that point in the NFL NFL season. But
now let's talk a little Celtics.
Yeah, we'll again drafts rounds 4 through 7. We'll see what happens. We'll come back next week, and it'll be very interesting to talk about. But yes, the Celtics obviously losing Game 3 on Friday night, last night down in Orlando. Celtics have, which I didn't know this, had dropped 5 games in a row now playing in Orlando. They can't seem to win down there.
Got the number.
Losing 95-93 last night. No Drew Holiday. Jason Tatum's back from the wrist injury. Clay, this injury bug that the Celtics can never seem to get away from, concern you at all?
They're getting older. I mean, there's a lot of wear and tear on Tatum, Brown, Holiday, for that matter.
Porzingis.
Yeah, there's a lot of wear and tear on these guys. So they're getting older, whether we like it or not. And things like this happen as you get older. And that's where they're at now. Whether we like it or not, they still seem young, but they have a lot of miles on them. Both Tatum and Brown came into the league early in their careers, early in their age. So they've been playing about 8 years already, 8 or 9 years already. Whether no matter how many whatever their age is, they've been playing 8 or 9 years respectively. So that's a lot of years.
Right. This is why we talked about too. We've had numerous conversations here on the show about not playing some of these stars later in the year as much as the Celtics did, and now are we seeing the detriment now of that?
Yeah, we're seeing it, especially with Holiday. He may want to play, but he's not that. What is he? 34 now. He's not the 24. He's not 10 years younger.
Right.
So he just can't play whether he wants to or not. It's showing up that he pulled a hamstring. Gosh, those things linger.
They do. And we obviously know about Porzingis, his long injury history, staying healthy now. Did not play well in Game 3 at all last night. It really was just
wow.
It really felt like it was just Jason Tatum out there. But 95-93, the Celtics losing, and Tatum with 36, Brown with 19, Derek White with 16, Porzingis 7, and then Al Horford obviously with 6 points. But we'll see what happens in Game 4. Hopefully, now that means the Celtics will have to go back home.
How many did Peyton have again?
Peyton Pritchard last night.
Yes.
Looking at the stat line here, 3 points. So not a.
But there we go.
In 25 minutes, so that was an off night for Peyton Pritchard.
That's the problem. He's the guy who's got to step up. He might be, I think he's 26, 27, but he doesn't have as many games. He doesn't have as much mileage on him as Brown and Tatum. And he's got to be that guy who can be fresh enough to step up and power through.
25 minutes play. Really didn't take a lot of shots either, for whatever reason last night. But
going to have to.
So Game 4, 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. Celtics now will have to come back to the Garden for a Game 5, hopefully to close it out. Of course, the Celtics will play the winner of the Pistons and the Knicks series. The Knicks up 2-1 in that series. They won the other night in Detroit, 118-116. And basketball back in Detroit. Game 4 of that series happening tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock in Detroit. And I would expect Detroit to even up that series. And if anything, 6 or 7 games, I would say that series will go.
Yeah, and you're taking New York, and I'm taking Detroit. I'm thinking Detroit. If it goes 7 games, I'm taking Detroit. Even though they will be playing in New York, I'll be taking Detroit on that one.
So Celtics, assuming they get past the Orlando Magic, which we would hope and expect them to do. Now, if the Celtics do lose tomorrow, then I would be a little bit concerned going back to Boston, tied 2-2. But again, I have confidence in the Celtics. I think they're just a better team than the Orlando Magic. They size up better. And I think regardless where they play the Pistons or Knicks, they'll be okay.
I think they'll be okay.
Game 3 happened down in Miami this afternoon. Cleveland up 2-0, and bit of a close game in Game 2. And then I think Miami playing Cleveland well, I think, but I expect Cleveland to take care of Miami. But we'll see.
We're talking about a Pat Riley, run team when you talk about Miami. So they're going to be difficult no matter what. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami takes Game 3.
We'll see. Go down to Miami. It's a different story down there when you're playing, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Looking after the Western Conference, Oklahoma City up 3-0 on Memphis. They're looking to close that out tonight. They had a huge comeback win in Game 3 of that series. They were down 29 points, came back, and John Morant went down with an injury, and then Memphis fell off the bus.
Gone.
Just goes to show, Clay, how much John Morant does and means to the Memphis Grizzlies.
There's no doubt about that. They don't have anybody else.
I mean, look at one a couple of years. What was it, last year or 2 years ago when he had to sit out for a suspension and then he was hurt, and the Grizzlies had one of their worst years. The year before that, his first year, came in. The Grizzlies were solid. They made the playoffs and they were a great team.
Yeah, but they only have one guy. So they're done. They're done. Mark it off.
Would you say Oklahoma City? I mean, just for looking at where they are right now, I think all things considered, they're still the team to beat in the Western Conference.
Loaded with jet fuel. These kids are young, they're hungry, and they're going at it. And the guy that they got leading the SGA, he's a legitimate star. He's a legitimate offensive player who anybody's going to have a hard time stopping. If you apply that much energy and power to stopping him, you're going to open up a lot of the other guys on the team. So very tough. And another team to watch out for is one you're going to go to right now, Houston.
Right. Houston, that 8:30 this evening in Oakland tonight against Golden State. Series tied up 1-1. Jimmy Butler, I don't think is going to play, or his game time decision due to the pelvis injury. He was deemed questionable for that game tonight, taken out for injury in Game 2. Rockets storming back and winning Game 2 in huge fashion after the Warriors took the first game. I still will give the edge to the Rockets in this series, and I would hope, and I'd like to see them defeat the Warriors. Do you disagree with me?
I think I took the Warriors to win this because of Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to stick with that. I believe Jimmy Butler will come back. This is what he does. He likes to make a grand Paul Pierce entrance, Larry Bird entrance. I'm hurt. I'm limping, but I'm going to be out there. And then next thing you know, the guys just like lighten up the joint. So I'm going still with the Warriors. We'll see what happens. And what's the last one we got? I mean, the Nuggets are going to lose.
Yes, we have the Nuggets and the Clippers series.
They're going to lose that one.
LA up 2-1. 6 o'clock tonight, game 3 of that series.
Well, I picked
game 4. Excuse me.
I picked the Clippers to win because they fired the coach, the Nuggets coach, and I was
I picked the Nuggets just based off playoff experience and the fact that the Clippers could never get past the first round for whatever reason. But I'm still going to go with the Nuggets. I believe Nikola Jokic is going to get past Kawhi and James Harden.
And what is your prediction on the LA Lakers and the Minnesota?
By the way, we forgot one Eastern Conference match or two. We'll go to that in a minute. I think the Timberwolves win in 6 games.
Woo!
Sorry.
What are they going to do out there in LA?
JJ Redick, he was the next great thing.
Oh, gosh.
Listen, I mean, LA had a pretty solid regular season, but it just goes to show you can't count out some of these teams in the playoffs.
I mean, what are they going to do out there?
I don't know.
With the gold and the purple.
And then
Luka and LeBron.
So I'm assuming you're going to take Minnesota.
I'd take anybody that they're playing against.
Take anybody against the Lakers.
I mean, gosh, I've never seen such malfunctioning, misfunctioning, mal-shooting. I mean, it's just terrible. What the league tries to do in order to get these guys to win, they pull every string they can to try to get these guys to win. But when now you got Luka and LeBron, and as you said, they don't know who's running the team. Each one of them wants to run the team, and they need the ball in their hands. So now it's just total confusion. I feel sorry for the Lakers fans who were really good fans of the Kobe and the Shaq. What they got now,
it's just different era.
It just makes you want to throw up.
Yeah. So we'll monitor that series, Game 4 in Minnesota tomorrow afternoon at 3:30, and then the final Eastern Conference matchup. But we've talked about this team that is up 2-1. That's the Pacers, who dropped Game 3 last night in Milwaukee. Damian Lillard's back. I still think the Pacers win this series. I think it was 6 games I thought they'd win.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by that. I think Pacers will win in 6 games.
I'm going with the Pacers also. Damian Lillard is back, but now they will adjust to Damian Lillard being back, and things will go back to business as usual with the Pacers beating the Bucks like a drum.
So we expect the Celtics to play, I think the Knicks, you think the Pistons, and then the Cavaliers would likely play the Pacers, which that'll be a really solid semifinal matchup, I think, between Cleveland and Indiana.
Up and down.
And then out west, I think it's going to be Minnesota, and you think LA, I think Denver, you think Golden State, I think Houston. I think we both have consensus that I think the best team in the Western Conference right now, and has been all year, best team in the league too, is Oklahoma City. Yeah. I expect them to beat Memphis today and take care of business and be the only team right now.
We didn't even get a chance to talk about the Sox.
Well, the Red Sox got rained out in Cleveland last night. They played doubleheader and they've lost 2 in a row. They dropped
and sit down. I mean, Rafael. What are they still doing in the lineup? When you have Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer,
I've been saying that,
and Mark and Grissom down there tearing up the league.
I've been saying that about Tristan Casas for a long time. But the Red Sox 14-13. But hey, Clay, they're still only 1.5 games back of the New York Yankees. So early days yet here, but in the final 30 seconds of the show, the Red Sox doubleheader in Cleveland this afternoon. Tanner Houck in Game 1 at 1:10, and then Walker Buehler pitching better Game 2 tonight in Cleveland.
Come on, Red Sox.
Final 20 seconds, my friend, for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great. There's just so much to talk about, and it's wish we can get more in, but we only have 1 hour. So we snap, crackle, and pop in that 1 hour. And thanks to you. Remember, call in, leave comments, whatever you need
Great calls.
to do.
And don't forget NHL playoffs in full swing as well. We'll talk about all that next week. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Everybody get exposed.